Welcome back to the Chow Time Pod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from 21 Studios. It's them talking about the Black Manosphere and them mapping out the Manosphere itself. I actually didn't really know when I first joined the Manosphere that I actually joined the Black Manosphere because most of the content creators I do watch happen to be black. I don't know. It's just when I started watching Manosphere content, I picked certain people, and because they happen to be black, it just led me towards more black creators, which makes sense. I've actually didn't even realize that there was a Black Manosphere and then the regular Manosphere until a little bit more recently this year. So at least from when, actually, I didn't realize it until I started creating my own content, and a lot of black men seem to question, why am I making black content? And I was just confused at first because I just thought it was Manosphere content. I guess I was somewhat wrong because I guess it was Black Manosphere content. So, but this is just I want to talk a little bit about this, and then let's see how they kind of react to this knowledge too. So please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. Let's get to the chow. It's chow time.
Basically what we're doing is we're mapping the manosphere. That's what I think we're attempting here. And so we have pickup artists, men's rights activists, MGTOW, and the Red Pill. Yeah. What else do we have?
Black Manosphere and Tratcons.
Okay. Why a Black Manosphere? Who's running that, and how that come about, and what's that all about?
So it's interesting. I don't speak for them. I mean, even as Podum, president of the Manosphere, they're very independent. I get along with them. I actually like them a lot. I found the Black Manosphere to be a lot more masculine than the general Manosphere. They call it the White Manosphere, which I think is stupid. There's plenty of guys who are not white in it.
I mean, that's probably why I gravitated towards the Black Manosphere in the beginning. And I didn't think of it as black or white or race. I just thought of it as Manosphere. And the content that the black creators were creating really resonated with me. I live in the inner city. I've always lived in the inner city most of my life. So what they experience is what I experience. I just not experienced with particularly black women. I do date black women, but because I'm Asian, I do prefer Asians. So
it's not a racial thing.
I didn't
For whatever
think it
reason,
was.
though, they decided to carve out their own space years ago. They called it the Negro Manosphere. They had their own website. Even to this day, they run channels for this kind of stuff. In my view, OShea Duke Jackson is the leader of it. He has the biggest voice and the biggest influence.
I can agree with that. I cover a lot of O'Shea's videos on here, and he really does focus on black most of the time. And he converts from, he does do other content other than just only black, but his focus is mostly on the black community. And I love his content. And again, I never thought of it as black or not black or whatever it is. So that's why when I did the videos with Charlie and stuff, I was a little bit confused about this too, because why do we put race on everything so much? I don't want to talk bad about black people or something, but why did you want to carve a niche out for your own people when I feel like being a part of a whole manosphere is better? Because at least we get to talk about other issues that aren't only pertaining to black people, I guess. But I don't know. I don't even know if there's an Asian manosphere, to tell you the truth, because I've never actually looked it up. I only look up for manosphere things, and whoever says or whoever I feel like are good content creators, they're pretty legit and things like that. So again, I'm confused about the race thing.
I might disagree. He always he's like, no, I'm not, this and that. But I call him the governor of the Black Manosphere. It's kind of for tongue in cheek. But yeah, they're, for example, when I went after Donovan Sharp at this 3-hour documentary, line item for 3 hours, spelling out with facts and evidence, receipts, text messages, confessions from him about all these lies he told. It was the Black Manosphere who was very supportive of me. They were not because they didn't like Donovan because they caught him lying years ago before I did. I didn't even really know. So they had thrown Donovan at,
O'Shea talks about this. Remember the video I did with O'Shea covering Abra and Preach on Donovan, OShea admits this. OShea admits that, yeah, they've known about Donovan. They just kind of like forced him out of the Black Manosphere. He was still doing his own thing, and then he's perfect. They're perfectly happy with 21 Studios. I guess the White Manosphere is what they call him, or this side of things. Started pushing the envelope of exposing the man, and O'Shea's all for it because O'Shea's also, I think, agree that he's for men, and seeing a man take advantage of other men in such a way of conning artists, pretty much, it's a problem.
Donovan's like, I think mostly black. They threw his ass out years ago, and he kind of went to the general manosphere, and he tried, and they didn't like that. They're like, oh yeah, he's a sellout, all this stuff. Well, then I threw his ass out too, and I exposed him really hardcore. It went viral. It had over 100,000 views in like a month, and really did a lot of damage to his business. Thank God. Cut his Patreon revenue by 60% in the first like 15 months, which was his main source of income. I was like really happy to see that. But anyway, they were the ones. A lot of the general manosphere was like, oh, this is clout chasing. So what? He lied, drama, blah blah blah. The Black Manosphere was like, fuck yeah, fucking go after that guy, destroy him. So they were much more accepting of this kind of conflict, where I was confronting an issue, confronting a fraud. And the general manosphere was much more like, no, let's get along. We got to all get along and sing Kumbaya.
Yeah.
And the Black Manosphere was like, fuck yeah, I get that guy.
Yeah.
So
I guess I fully agree with most of the Black Manosphere. I never knew I entered the Black Manosphere side of things, but yeah, I agree. If the motherfucker's a liar and fucking con artist, get the fuck out of here. Nobody wants this motherfucker, for one, kind of trashing the manosphere in a sense with his presence because he's such a con artist. Just him being in the manosphere makes the manosphere look bad because he's such such a hypocrite and such a con artist when it comes to trying to get men to buy his courses, right?
I like that a lot, and I thought that was something that the general manosphere should look towards for the action of masculinity. That's what masculine men should do.
I agree.
Yeah, I want to come back to that because you definitely like to point out frauds and
I love it.
Attack them, and
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool to watch too. We'll come back, but so I want to dive more into the Black Manosphere. So who are some of the players there? What differentiates it from, say, the wider Manosphere, I would say?
They're very specific about it. Like, it's all about black men's issues.
I did not know. I felt like the issues that they were bringing up, I had this, me as in Cambodian guy, had the exact same issues. So I really gravitated towards it. So
they can be very combative with white people. So that's why I don't even know if there needs to be a Black Manosphere. But since I'm not black, I'm just like, well, if a bunch of black guys want their own space in the manosphere, then go do that. And if you don't, then don't. As a white guy, I'm not going to get in that mix and tell them yes or no that they should or not. I don't think it's necessary. Like, they're always welcome to just be part of the manosphere or whatever. But yeah, they can be pretty combative against white people and stuff. So I don't think a lot of them are BLM, but there's definitely like more BLM kind of stuff in there. I don't understand all the issues. I don't take huge interest in the Black Manosphere. But some of the key players, like I mentioned, are OShea Duke Jackson, Obsidian Radio. I forget his full name he goes by, but that's like his channel he goes by. Alan Roger Curry was a big player in there for a long time. There's some more channels too. I don't know all of them. But it's definitely its own little space, and it's its own little niche. Kind of like in America, you have like the black community, right? For better and for worse. I'm not saying that there should be, this own distinct kind of thing. But they've done the same thing in the manosphere. And whatever, man, go for it.
Sure.
They get along with me pretty well. I'm probably like the favorite white guy.
Yeah.
I've always gotten along. I get a few comments here and there saying, why is a pale... I had one comment that, why is a pale face speaking on black men's issues? And I was just like, wait, I'm pale-faced? But that's only one or two. And I'll tell you the truth, most of my subs, I believe, are black just because of my demographic. And just the creators I use, they're black creators. So... And I get a lot of support from the black community too. So I only got like one or two comments about the whole, why am I Asian, talking about black issues, but I just thought it was interesting. I did not really realize I was in a Black Manosphere niche. I just thought I was in the manosphere itself, but I mean, I'm gonna try to like spread out. I want to be part of the full manosphere, just because there's other contents out there that may not just pertain to Black or pertain to the content creators I particularly follow. So I just thought this was actually very interesting for me, just because as a content creator myself, to get to know, like, I knew about 21 Studios. I knew they are the biggest and pretty much are like, he's POTUS of the manosphere, which makes sense to me because the way they go about the manosphere, the studios they build and all, they have their own app and things like that. So I was like, oh, okay, this kind of makes sense. So when I started watching more of the 21 Studios stuff, then I started to realize, oh, I see the difference now. Or I guess there is a difference.
A lot of them are commenting, because there's a lot of smaller channels too that have 5,000, 10,000 subscribers. You saw these Black guys, like their jaws were dropping on video watching me go after Donovan, because they were like, I can't believe I have to support this white boy in a MAGA hat over this Black guy, because I was just roasting this guy like so hard. I was like, yeah, I appreciate that, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit that Donovan was Black. When I exposed him, it didn't mean anything to me. What mattered to me is he was a liar.
Yep.
He was committing fraud and hurting men by lying to them.
Right.
So I don't know huge amounts about the Black Manosphere, but it's been around for a while, at least since 2015. And it sounds.
I'm surprised he didn't say anything about the Godfather. Maybe because the Godfather's passed and he's not the current face of the Manosphere or the Black Manosphere anymore. But I'm surprised he didn't mention Mr. Kevin Samuels' name at all.
Face, and he knows what it is.
And the sixth one is the TradCon.
Yeah.
And that stands.
How was that, Chow? I mean, it was more for me. I just thought it was very interesting to realize that there's different niches of the manosphere itself. I mean, I knew about Red Pill, Mid-Tau, Black Pill, and all that. I didn't realize I was in the Black Manosphere niche just because of the content I actually produce. So, interesting. I'm glad that at least I have a lot of Black followers that still like the content, even though I'm not Black. Thank you for following. I just try to do the best for the manosphere itself. You see me, I try to bring Asian content. I try to bring, Black content. I try to bring like Hispanic, as much content as I can that affects men and an overall arching view. Right? So, hey, I hope you guys like the video. Please like and subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate that. And I'll catch you guys next time. It's chow time.